Thank you for coming to the seat of the African Court on Human and People's Rights. You are very welcome.
Thank you very much for receiving us today. I'm very proud to be here. Could you perhaps explain to us the significance of the African Court in the African landscape, in the African judicial landscape?
So the court's main mandate is to complement the protective mandate of the African Commission. We can say to give teeth to the protective mandate, because being a court, it is going to be giving legally binding judgments. And that is what exactly the court is doing. For the past 10 years of the establishment of the court has built a reputation on that. We have, I think, rendered so far 6 judgments on the merits on a range of issues, including freedom of expression, the protection of journalists, the right to legal aid, non-discrimination, the right to participate in government. And these are, I can say, in the African context, groundbreaking judgments which could be used by other African countries to enhance the promotion and protection of human rights in their countries. The judgment against the United Republic of Tanzania, which was that independent candidates who want to stand for election, whether at the presidential, municipal, or legislative level, should be allowed, because preventing independent candidates from standing for election is a violation of their right to participate in government. This is very significant because in many African countries, independent candidates cannot stand for elections. And that has caused a lot of problems in many African countries. There's another judgment against Burkina Faso, where the court ruled that custodial sentences for defamation was a violation of human rights, especially for less serious offenses. Yeah, this, I think, is the first time an African institution is taking such a position to decriminalize defamation. But the process of enhancing human rights on the continent is an ongoing process. There are initiatives in place to ensure that not only should human rights enjoyment and protection be enhanced, but the general fight against impunity on the continent should be enhanced. This is how the African political leaders came up with the initiative to extend the mandate of the African Court, not only to limit it to human rights issues, but to extend it to also be able to deal with criminal matters. To this end, a protocol was adopted in June 2014 to extend the mandate of the court to deal with criminal matters, not only the criminal international criminal crimes recognized under the Rome Statute, but under the protocol to extend the mandate of the court to deal with criminal matters, there are about 14 international crimes recognized. Crimes which may not be a problem to other regions, but are issues that affect the African continent, like mercenary, unconstitutional change of government, corruption, money laundering, piracy. Those are things that affect the African continent on a day-to-day basis, and which African leaders think should constitute international crime, at least within the African context. On those bases, that the protocol to extend the mandate of the court to deal with criminal crimes came into being. It has been signed by 9 countries, but there has been no ratification as yet. So the whole idea, when this new court comes into force, there will be a court with 3 different mandates: a human rights section, a criminal section, and a general service section. The human rights section will be just like the present court, the African Court on Human and People's Rights. The criminal section will be similar in structure, I'm sure, to the current ICC, but with a broader mandate because there are so many international crimes under the protocol. And the general section will look at issues such as the interpretation of treaties, relationship between institutions of the African Union, relationship between those institutions and staff members of the African Union. So it will be one court which tries to bring under the same umbrella all the different mandates in international criminal justice and international human rights law.